this is Shaz from Integrella. I'd like to introduce an excerpt from a recent video where we go through how you can start your journey to digital by leveraging APIs. This particular video goes into many themes, but it can all be drawn together using the overall theme of honesty. Honesty as an enterprise in how you view your technology and how you use it, your maturity in terms of handling your data, your processes and your ability to absorb change. All of that paired with a focus on benefits realization. So without further ado, here's the video.
There's a number of things that, in our view, that are important to have thought about and to at least have a strong view on before you decide to move forward. Number one is understand your business model and your growth strategy. If you aren't an Uber, then it clearly doesn't make sense for you to be driving out a suite of APIs to do the kind of things that I talked about earlier. But you need to understand where your growth is going to come from and make the link between that growth and business benefit and how the change might enable that. Secondly, it's really important that you understand your data and you start to govern it. Take a long, hard look at your organization and ask yourself, how well do we govern our data? How well do we understand our data? How well do we protect our data? Thirdly, an API journey, depending on where you are, involves change. And it involves change across the three main areas: people, process, and technology. And it's significant. And as an organization, you should be honest with yourself. Where are we within our change roadmap? What is our ability to absorb change at this point in time? What is our ability to affect change at this point in time? Is this something that we can actually do, or do we need help to do it? And it's really important that you are honest with yourselves about that. Lastly, sharing of data. We've talked about it a number of times, and it's really important that you control and secure access to your data. So the ability to share data well means securing and applying the right level of control over the top of that data sharing strategy. So organizations should look very carefully at what is their security maturity, take steps to improve it and make that part and parcel of your change strategy. Now you'll notice that in those four areas that I covered, the word API doesn't appear on any of those slides, and that's intentional because these are quite broad topics and areas that need to be considered before you start talking about APIs specifically. So on that topic, the best way I would kind of describe this is organizations should look quite carefully at what is their approach to sharing of data. Do you have an integration platform today? Do you have APIs today? Do you have a service-oriented architecture today? Do you have the ability to be flexible? What is the level of effort that is involved when the next project comes along and needs some data sharing to take place? Do you reinvent the wheel? Do you have components that you can reuse? So these are really important fundamental questions that you need to ask yourself, and APIs can meet the needs and the drivers for all those traditional integration type areas, but it really is the foundation for much more. The second thing is you should ask yourself, do I have a clear technology strategy? Some organizations we talk to immediately kind of talk about, well, we're cloud first, we're open source first. And then when you get into it and you ask them and you look at the architectures and the platforms that they have, a small proportion of them are cloud and open source. So then the next question is, well, what's your roadmap for change? And then in some cases, there may be some sort of navel gazing and some uncertainty. So it's important to be honest with yourself to say, well, what is my technology strategy? Do I have a technology strategy? What is my roadmap? And the really important point here that I want to make is the link between that and business benefit and business value allows you to then determine, well, how do I slot APIs in to that to then either fulfill that growth strategy or to accelerate. Lastly, I want to talk about something quite specific, which is time spent working on shaping the business case for APIs is time well spent. We've done this recently at that higher education institution, and it was enlightening. We were able to spend time understanding their as-is environment, to understand their goals as an institution, to understand how they govern their data, and to propose an approach for implementing APIs and evolving that platform to drive to meet the goals of their growth strategy. So it's very important that you look at this from a cost-benefit equation. I've had the I could say pleasure or maybe displeasure of sitting down with a CFO, trying to explain to him the benefits of a particular piece of change, and he was asking me some very difficult questions. And if you're not able to honestly tag a change to a business benefit, then it's very difficult to really justifiably move these things forward. So those are the areas that I really want to talk about. So kind of bringing it back to sort of what happens next. Just to summarize, spend some time working on understanding your landscape today. And those are the two slides that I just showed. And that is really the as-is. Create the business case. This is time well spent. And it will make it clear to you whether it's worth doing this or not. Understand your growth strategy, understand how the change fits in. Our view is that it's sensible to develop a pilot first, test the water, monitor that, understand how consumers are interacting with your APIs, understand the benefit, understand the operating model that's required to manage and run an API, a suite of APIs. And then lastly, evolve from that platform, scale it, and then industrialize the production of APIs as you become more comfortable.
Hope you enjoyed that video. Please subscribe to our channel. If you want to find out more, then please reach out via our website. Our details are there, and hopefully speak to you soon.